Stephen, well done. That's quite a day today.
Quite a day. Bit of a headache now. It was, it's been a tough couple of days. Obviously, after the events of the other night, and unfortunately, Chris losing his job, so it was a short period of time to get prepared for today. And that's always the tricky part: is 2 recovery days, and you've got to try and get the information and the tactical information into the players to try and put in a performance in a game that we needed to get a result in. Obviously, finding ourselves in the position in the league that we are, it was important that we got something out of the game. Was fully confident. Obviously, made a few changes to the team selection and formation that I thought would give us the best chance of getting a result.
I was going to say, you mentioned there that you haven't got long to get the information across. You've got plenty of information to get across, given the change of formation, but it seemed to stick.
But that's the beauty of having the analysts at the club now, having the software, having the video footage that we've got. In a quick turnaround, you can pretty quickly get a lot of information into the players. We had probably an extra meeting or 2 than we usually would have in the build-up to a game, but hopefully the information that we did manage to get into the players, especially when it's 2 days of recovery after the game in midweek, you can't even get on the grass really and train properly and put it into action. So for the players to come here, not only put in the performance that they did, but the heart, the desire, the last 10-15 minutes of the game to dig in, stay in a shape and limit them to virtually no attempts from any really dangerous positions was all credit to them.
You could see how much the toll it had taken, because 3 or 4 of the boys went down with cramp at some point or another. I know it's a warm day, but that kind of shows at this stage of the season, when you're this many games in, if you've got that many going down with cramp, they've put their lot in.
Yeah, they have, and it was a difficult one that actually, because I was making the changes and then another 1 or 2 were going down with cramp, so it was a tough moment to manage. But yeah, I've got to say that the lads fought to the end. Made sure that they realised what a club it is and the size of the club and the expectations and the expectations of the fans, and I think they delivered that.
Talk to us about how you felt when that first goal was being created and then being finished.
Well, it's what Brennan does. If you look back at the first game of the season against Coventry, it was a similar area that he picked the ball up, tried to, in a way, get them in those positions where if we did win the ball back, they'd be in decent positions to attack. Joe Lolly obviously grabs and Brennan, and yeah, he's one of those players. I think he's quicker with the ball than without it. It was a great run, and obviously that desire from Grabs to get himself in the box, and obviously Joe in behind him as well tried to contain the emotions. Obviously he'd probably let a little bit go, but it was a nice moment, especially at that end with the fans, in that corner.
And the start to the second half is perfect as well, because fair to say you needed a second goal at some point whenever it came.
Yeah, we did. Probably the second half of the first half, it was a lot of difficult moments. We set up in a way to be quite aggressive in how we pressed, but sometimes you do get picked off. Sometimes then you do need to sit in a little bit more and soak up a bit of pressure. So probably towards the end of the first half, they got in the ascendancy a little bit, and maybe the start of the second as well. So that goal, hopefully knocked them out their stride a little bit. And after that, I thought we defended well. I thought when we won the ball back, we was calm in possession, put our bodies on the line when we needed to, and saw it through to the end.
It's obviously worked. It's worked a treat for you today. You've got 2 goals in a league game for the first time since Easter, and kept a clean sheet for the first time this season as well. So everything's worked. The change of formation, Stephen, how much was that about how Huddersfield play, and how much was it about you believing that's the best for Forest to get out of it?
A little bit of both. I think the best way, I felt was to match them up, and at the start of the first half I thought it worked pretty well. We won it back in some decent areas of the pitch. Then 1 or 2 moments when they do get their good side, they've been coached well, they started the season well. He's been managed now over the last season and a bit, Carlos, to produce, and you can tell that the way he's coached in the videos and the games that we've watched, that they're a good side. But as well as doing that, I thought it was the best opportunity to get our players into decent areas, allowing Brennan and Joe Lolly and Grabs to hopefully pick up them positions where if we did win it, we might get them in those areas, like you see with Brennan, that little pocket, and he can drive up the pitch. Joe Lolly in those forward areas that look to threat in the opening 10-15 minutes of the game in particular. So a little bit of them, but also a little bit of our strengths as well.
As you mentioned, it's been a tough week, but how nice did it feel at the end to be celebrating, the players with smiles on their faces, the fans cheering, and you're all in front of them? I mean, that's what football's about.
It was the slowest second half in the world. I can tell you that. It's one of them. You score, you want the game to be over, but enjoyed. Yeah, enjoyed the moment, but at the same time can't get away from the sadness and the disappointing week that it's been, losing Chris, superb manager, the man that brought me to the club, man that I've got so much respect for. So, there is a happiness and an excitement and the joy of winning the game, but also there's that sadness of, if only that result had been a couple of games ago, we would maybe not be in this situation.
And I suppose from your point of view as well, there's an unknown, isn't there? I'm sure you've enjoyed the experience over the last few days, but you don't know what the future holds, do you?
No, not at all. Probably get some information over the next couple of days, I guess, and see where we go. So no information, not sure whether something's close to being done or whether it's going to take a little more time. Just carry on as usual, carry on doing the job that the club have asked me to do for the moment, and see what happens over the next few days.
Thanks for joining us, Stephen. Well done.
Thank you.